Friends, it's Lisa Nehring from True North Academy, and today I want to talk to you about something that has changed a lot over the years and not necessarily for the better. That is the college experience. 20 years ago, when you were going to college was practically a rite of passage. You packed up your bags, you decorated your dorm, which is a big deal right now. You bought the hoodie, and you got 4 years of relatively affordable education with a promise of a good job on the other side. That was my experience years ago, and I think it was the experience of a lot of us as we headed off to college. But let's fast forward to today. It's literally a completely different world. For one, college costs have skyrocketed. Not only college costs, but college textbooks. The job market is really uncertain. Again, we're in the fourth industrial revolution, so a lot of disruption to jobs, vocations, complete career fields. Like I've talked about, by 2030, they expect that 80% of the current jobs are going to be changed. So families are left wondering, with good reason, is college worth it? So, want to chat with you about it because if you go to college and you do your college tour, the admissions department is going to talk to you about the college experience and how your kids are going to come to college and they're going to have this amazing experience at their college. It's a big sales point. And as I talk to families and parents around the country going to conventions, I hear this all the time. I don't want my kids to miss out on the college experience. So I want to talk about it from a different point of view. First of all, let's talk about the return on the investment for college because this is part of the college experience, the return on the investment. So a lot of parents are saving tens of thousands of dollars. Kids are taking out tens of thousands of dollars in debt. And let's just compare and contrast for a minute. In 2004, the average college cost of room, board, and tuition was about $15,000 a year. You could literally work a summer job, get a scholarship, take a small loan under $5,000 or $10,000, and you could graduate with manageable debt. That was before the student loans, the student loan companies were deregulated too. So there's a whole nother discussion about how you can take out $10,000 in debt and literally be in debt for 30 years. But that's a whole different discussion. But let's fast forward to 2025. We're looking at $30,000 to $50,000 a year for tuition, and that's conservative. Many families are literally taking out six figures of debt for a degree that may or may not lead to a career path. Return on the investment, it has shifted from a solid investment to literally a serious risk. We haven't even talked about the kind of lifestyle and debt burden that creates for young adults trying to launch. Now, I've talked about this before too. A lot of kids are going to college. They spend their entire high school career taking ACTs, taking APs, working a part-time job, doing all the things, volunteering so that they can have a really solid transcript and portfolio to submit to the colleges to get in because they're so worried about getting in, but they overlook at the price tag. And here's the deal. Half the students are dropping out. So it's an incredible churn rate in the college campuses, and the kids are spending their entire high school career getting ready to go to college, and literally half of them are not going to graduate with a degree. So that's the first thing, is the return on the investment. It has radically shifted. Second point, the vocational landscape has changed. Again, a radical change. The world our kids are launching into is not the same one we did. I try to share this with parents all the time. Now, I had kids in my 20s, 30s, and 40s, so my younger kids have an older mom, right? By the time they went to college, I had graduated 35, 40 years ago from college. And listen, the academics have radically changed from when I was in college, the cost has radically changed, and the experience has radically changed. Not only that, the vocational landscape has radically changed. So the world I launched into as a young adult is completely different than the one my younger kids launched into. There is remote work. There is online work. Listen, online didn't exist when I graduated from college. There is automation. There is AI. There is the gig economy. These weren't even part of the conversation 2 decades ago, or even literally 8 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. Back when I graduated from college, you got a degree, you got a job, and you could literally stay in that job for 10 to 20 years. But now careers are very, very fluid. Again, we're in this global gig economy. So jobs require transferable skills, not just a diploma. We bake those into our classes at True North Academy. So kids are learning how to promote themselves. They're learning personal agency. They're learning how to work in a group setting and all those kind of great life skills that are transferable. So experience networking, entrepreneurial thinking and adaptability. Those are the new currencies. That's why I'm talking about these things all the time. Experience, networking, entrepreneurial thinking, adaptability. These are the new currency. In other words, is your child an autodidact? Because if they can teach themselves to learn without formal learning, they're going to go so far. Nothing's going to hold them back. Not this time of disruption, not a degree, not the global gig economy. They're going to be good to go. So honestly, a good question for you is, why are we still sending our kids through a traditional system built for a world that literally doesn't exist anymore? Now, you guys can see a zillion memes about the history of education and how our K-12 model was based on a lockstep method to create factory workers. This is common knowledge at this point. I wrote my master's thesis on it, so I'm well versed in this. I wrote my master's thesis 30 years ago, 40. So I totally get this, and this is a good part of the conversation. But what we're not talking about is how the college system was built for that too. And the college system isn't that far removed from the K-12 program. And so it's a lockstep method that locks your kids into a specific vocational program. So point 3, today's families want smarter paths, and you should. You should want a smarter path than a lockstep method of education that was built for the second industrial revolution. Because guess what? We're in the fourth industrial revolution. The world has changed quite radically since the second, which our educational model, including college, was built for. So today's families are looking for smart, affordable, flexible options that align with values, budget, and real options. I know you are. I am too. I'm always looking for, how can I get the most value for the least amount of money, time, or effort, right? I mean, aren't we all looking for that? We want to get the most out of this life. And we should. That's just called good stewardship. It's not selfish. It's what we should be looking for. And that's exactly why we built the True North dual degree program. Your student can earn both an accredited high school diploma and a fully accredited college degree at the same time. This is a work smarter, not harder, strategic way of getting a college degree. So students take a combination of live online classes. They have our incredible teachers at True North and a built-in support system. I just did a dual degree advising session with one of our second year students in the program, and it was so much fun. I get to know the families, I get to know the kids, get to understand their dreams and what they're looking for and where they want to go, and it's so encouraging. There's so many amazing young people in the world, and we're helping them get where they want to go faster, smarter, and with no debt. Pretty crazy. It's not a shortcut. It's literally a strategic path designed for the 21st century learner. There's no dorm rooms, no party culture, no massive debt. And listen, let's talk about the college experience. For a lot of people, the college experience means they're practicing being adult, but they're not. They don't do their own laundry. They don't cook their own food. They don't pay their own bills. They're kind of living on the lam. They are taking out debt for the most part. And a lot of these kids are partying. They're not really building up personal vocational or spiritual capital, let's be honest. And I'm not saying this across the board, but I'm saying if you look at stats, that's a lot of what the college experience is. So it's not really a health oriented program, right? Again, the dual degree program at True North is not a shortcut. It's a strategic path designed for the 21st century learner, and it's an incredible return on your investment. If you're questioning the traditional college path, and you should be, now I want to be clear. The dual degree program at True North is not for everybody. There are certain people who should absolutely go to college to get an undergraduate degree in a college program. And I'm thinking like STEM careers. I'm thinking engineering and things like that. If you're going to go to medical school, one of the things that they're looking for is people with a psychology underdegree and a +1 science lab program, and then apply to medical school or an advanced medical program, and we can definitely offer that. But for certain STEM programs, absolutely you want to go to college. But not everybody needs to go to that program or that kind of program. And again, if you're questioning the traditional college path, we have a great solution for you. Your kid doesn't necessarily need to be college ready. They can be college done by 18, and that changes everything. Because instead of spending your, I said that a little bit wrong, but instead of spending your entire high school career and focusing on the career of your kid's high school, how do they get into college? How are they going to get the scholarships? Filling out the FAFSA, doing the AP classes, studying for the ACT and SAT, making sure they have a standout factor, On and on and on and on. Your kids can be college done. So instead of spending all of high school getting them ready, they can do high school and college at the same time and be done and graduated with 2 accredited degrees at 18 or 19. And literally, that can change everything for your kids. If they graduate at 18 or 19 with no debt, and they are ready to go in the world. They can start a business, they can go to work, they can buy a house, they can start a family, versus their peers who are not going to graduate with their undergrad until statistically age 24, 25, 26 with on average $37,000 in debt. So the kids in our program can launch earlier. They have a half a decade of making money while other people are still in college. And again, it's a game changer. Again, your kid doesn't have to spend all of high school getting college ready. They can spend high school going through college and be done with 2 degrees by the time they graduate. So they can graduate with both a high school diploma and a college diploma. Both are fully accredited. So if you want to learn more, head on over to True North Homeschool Academy and schedule a free dual degree advising appointment today. See if it's the right fit for your family. Again, it might not be the right fit for your family, but don't you think 15 minutes is worth finding out if it is or not? Because literally it could be a game changer for your kids. This program is less than the cost of most private high schools per year. It's an incredible return on the investment. You have qualified Judeo-Christian teachers coming from a place of faith, and our classes are really created so that the kids are engaged, and it's a dynamic, creative, engaged learning environment. So I just want to encourage you guys. You guys don't prepare your kids for the past any longer. Equip them for the future, because your kids are going to live and work in the future. And if you're preparing them the way you got ready to launch, you're behind the times, like 20 years behind. As always, thanks for watching. I'm Lisa Nehring, and I just want to encourage you to keep charting your course, True North. Your kids are counting on you, and we would love to come alongside of you and help you with any educational needs that you have, 6th through 12th grade and college. We offer a la carte bundles, 3, 6, and 10 class bundles, and of course our amazing and one-of-a-kind dual degree program that's fully accredited. I would love to talk to you soon. Feel free to leave me a comment or start a conversation with me in a DM. You can head on over to the website at truenorthhomeschool.academy, start a chat, and our phone number and email is on the website as well. All right, you guys have a great night. I'll talk to you soon.